Yo, 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 what's going on? What's going on back again in the market? All right. So once again, this is what we got. We were waiting for a breakout of our Lucy highs and Lucy lows to confirm structure. So right now, I'm not in any positions at the moment. All right. All right. So this is what we got for the most part. Once again, we're still in an upwards trend. All right. Right now, at the moment, we do have a counter trend taking place. We had some movement to the downside. FOMC news took place Wednesday. Had a lot of aggressive movement to the downside, but once again, we're looking to continue on the upside. All right, so right now, market is moving a little slower than normal. Once again, just being on standby, just waiting patiently for the move. Um, Fridays are normally good days. It's a good day to make some money, a good day to lose some money. So definitely make sure you manage your risk, you're using proper risk management, and just making sure you're being responsible with that capital. All right, we got some movement to the upside. Got some movement to the upside. We have buyers trying to push up. Still do not have any strong confirmations. So once again, we're standing by. All right. All right. So right now we got a little bit of indecisiveness. And we still have not had structure broken yet. But once again, we're waiting for structure to break out of our established zones. Once we get that break of structure, going to look for some positions to be taken. All right, sellers are pushing. Sellers are currently pushing. All right. While the market is trying to adjust, just want to give you a recap. We did have some news that was published today. We did have Chicago PMI, which was at a positive percentage. Now, one thing about Chicago PMI is a leading indicator of economic health. So businesses react to this type of news because it pretty much puts positive or negative impact on market conditions. So this is one of the things that you definitely want to be in consideration of whenever Chicago PMI is released. Now, keep in mind we don't have the major news being released. With this federal government shutdown, where we haven't had a chance to see a spark with the big news event. So once again, if you're a fundamental trader, you know how well this affects the market and your bias of entering and determining the overall direction of the market, because that's pretty much my whole thing. Is if I can determine the overall direction of the market through the news, it's more calm for me, it's more relaxing, and I don't have to do what I'm doing right now, which is quick scalping. Quick scalping is good. I'm more experienced to do it, but if I can hold a trade, I'd rather do that. If I can hold it for the whole day, with the confirmation of the big news events, that's pretty much what I prefer to do. All right, so right now we have price is stuck in this range. I mean, just a lot of constipation this morning. A lot of constipation. So days like this, once again, if you can get a quick scalp for 20 points, 20 points, still a good day. We had a 500 point move yesterday, and we had some nice movement for FOMC. So once again, this week was still a pretty good day. Well, this week was pretty much a good week, and a lot of successful executions this week. Um, so definitely hope you guys are taking notes, what's going on, you're journaling, and you're preparing for next month. Now, next month, I'm going to be back in weight. I'm not going to be taking as much trades next month, but I mean, it's still going to be a good month, depending on your level of understanding of the market and what instrument you trade. Now, November and December are months where the market is very volatile, so you definitely want to watch how you enter and exit. All right, so we got buyers starting to push. All right, see what we're looking like on the 30-minute chart. Yeah. All right, so yeah, pretty much we got just not enough strength on our side. 30-minute chart is just really choppy. Um, gonna go to our 3 minute. All right, our 3 minute time frame is definitely a lot of accumulation. It's still in the range, and once again, um, it's not safe to enter because we don't have a great construction. We don't have uh, overall direction yet. So once again, I'm currently waiting for structure to be broken. Once structure is broken, going to take some positions, and we're going to enter and exit. right, sellers are still pushing. Sellers are still pushing. All right. All right. Let's see if we can tap the zone. If we can tap the zone, all right, that'll tell us what we need to know. See if we can tap the zone right here. All right, it's pushing. It's pushing. Let's see. See what we got. All right, it's pushing. All right. All right. Now once it breaks that zone, we're gonna look to take it to the daily. We're gonna look to take it to past daily. And that's gonna be our target. Target is going to be the daily. All right. All right. We just tapped the zone. All right. Tapping the zone. Sellers are pushing. All right. Sellers are pushing. So just waiting for a little bit more confirmation. All right, so we got some rejection. Got some rejection right here. All right. All right, so we didn't really get a close. Once again, we have a rejection coming at this marker. So once again, still not taking any positions. Uh, don't really have any strong confirmations at the moment. So once again, I'm on standby. All right. You got about 30 seconds to this candle close. I got about 30 seconds. See what we got. All right. All right. So we just want to see where this candle is going to close. All right. So we closed on the buyer's candle. All right. So closing the buyer's candle right here. So once again, definitely want to be cautious. All right. So go ahead and delete that. All right. All right. Buyers are currently pushing up. Buyers are currently pushing up. All right, it looks like we're heading back to the weekly. Price is currently heading back to the weekly. Let's see. Heading back to the weekly. Let's see. All right, I'm going to. Well, never mind. Never mind. We got some pullback. It's gonna take a quick scalp to the weekly, but nah, it's too risky. Let's see. All right, all right. I'm gonna take a quick scalp to the weekly, right quick. Take a quick scalp. Once I get in profit, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. All right. Quick scalp. All right. And what I'm doing, I'm watching the candle. I'm watching the candle on my iPad. I have the watching it from the 1 minute time frame on my iPad. So I'm watching that candle. If it stays above, stay in. All right, I'm gonna close out on that one. Close out on that one. All right. Now the key thing when you quick scalp, you want to make sure that your position size is very little when you're quick scalping. Um, the positions where I hold, I make sure those positions are very heavy because once again, once I establish the direction of the market, uh, I do want to make sure that the position size is sustainable and it makes sense. But on your quick scalping on a day like this, you definitely want to make sure that it's probably the lowest lot size as you can. I normally prefer doing the minis because the position size is very little. So and especially like I said, if you're someone that don't really have a lot of capital and your broker offers you to trade the minis, that's a good thing because like I say, you can take that 250 and just pretty much compound it, grow it over time. And shoot, you look up the next month, you're at 1,000. Next month you're at 2,000. So the money accumulates really fast. It's pretty much how you play your cards. So once again, the principles that I always go by, the principles that my professor has taught me. All right, know when to hold, and you got to know when to fold. Okay, know when to walk away and know when to run. All right, because there's always another day. All right, and that's pretty much how you survive in this market. All right, so right now we got some action to the downside, and we're still waiting for a break. Once again, I'm not in at the moment because we still got some cleaning up to do. This is just once again too muddy for me. You don't want to get in when it's muddy, but right now we do have some movement going to the downside. So let's see what Let's see if we get that breakout. And once we get that breakout, all right, we need a retest before we get into. We got sellers pushing. Let me see where we are right now. Sellers are pushing. All right. Got a little pullback, but we don't have a full break out of the zone. So once again, I'm waiting for a break out of Lucy's lows. All right. Now, if we get a breakout of Lucy's lows, all right, I'm telling you right now, all right, my plan is to take it to the previous daily support. All right, so if we get a break out of Lucy lows, my plan is to take it to previous daily support. But right now we got a little bit of rejection. So once again, we don't have full confirmation. We don't have full confirmation. And that's another thing. Like I say, the last seven sayings of the professor, if you don't have full confirmations, you don't get in. You know, you can bet big and you can win big, but if you don't have full confirmations, you can't win big. Even if you bet it all, even if you risk it all, how can you stand tall if you don't have full confirmations? Whenever I get in positions, once again, once I have full confirmations, I will risk it all. Okay, I can do that. Now, some people may tell you, hey, not to risk it all. Well, they don't have the coordinates to Wall Street. See, when before my professor passed away, he gave me, 70% of the coordinates to Wall Street. Now, I didn't get all the coordinates because once again, the last months, when he was living, like I say, I wasn't able to get all of the coordinates. But once again, I got enough, all right, to get me going. So once again, next month, this is going to be the month where, I prepare to go back to 500, and I'm going to go from 500 to 100K, all right, in 3 months. All right, I'm going to do this in 3 months. All right, and once I do it twice, I'm going to be looking to take some people with me. Some people are not answering the phone right now. Some family members are not answering the phone, but it's cool. All right, because I just want to make sure that I offer the game to as many people as I can touch. So that's going to be my plan these coming months. Once again, it's still been a good year. I started at 500 in January. I started at 500 and I'm over 10K. I did this with a personal account. Now, I thought you had to, just trade prop firms to even, get to that kind of money. But like once you really lock in on this stuff, I'm telling you, man, once you lock in, and I'm gonna do a video whenever I get some time, man. Once you lock in, once you meet with the right person that got 8 to 10 years of experience, person that's willing to give you the coordinates to their system, and you fall in love with the instrument, man, I'm telling you, bro, like that money hits different. I mean, like I get in trades and I don't even feel anything. Like I don't even get excited anymore because it's just a natural effect now. But man, I'm just telling you, man, patience, like just knowing the system, just knowing how to be patient and just pretty much just sticking to the game plan, you know. You have a lot of traders that understand structure, but they don't have the coordinates. They don't have the coordinates to the instrument that they're trading. All right. See, US30 is something that I got the coordinates from the professor. You know, he gave me the coordinates to US30. All right. And if you ask me to go back to Forex, I'm not going back to Forex. Why? Because I never received the coordinates to Forex instruments. I received the coordinates to US30. Okay. So once again, because I don't have full confirmations, prices currently in this range, I'm not getting in. I'm not holding. I'm not going to get in yet. I need a little bit more in order to get into this trade. See, right now we still in the mud. All right. So if you trading in the mud, that's not good. So once again, just going back to our top down analysis, we're still in this wedge. All right, we're still in this wedge, and we still have a lot of cleaning up to do. So once again, I'm looking for a breakout of this wedge, and once we get out of this wedge, all right, this will give me determination of where to go next. Yeah, and I know I've been talking a lot about the professor, but once again, um, I made sure I paid my respects. I wasn't the best student, but I made sure I got the coordinates that I was looking for because, when I saw my professor in the community, I saw some things that everybody else didn't see. And when I tried to bring it to others' attention, you know, they thought I was crazy, but I'm like, no, I was not crazy. Like, I mean, man, my professor was the Stevie Wonder of the market, man. Like he was in these trades way before news hit. Like he already knew what the data was going to be before he got into the trades. And I kept asking myself, why did he already know, the data? Well, the reason he knew the data because he had the coordinates. Like he had already established the coordinates. And the thing was, I wasn't able to get all of the coordinates, but the last months I was able to get, 70% of the coordinates. Now, it's enough to keep me going, but I had to do some groundwork to find out the remaining coordinates of the system. And that's pretty much where I give credit to, the success of holding trades, just pretty much getting in those trades without any anxiety, any stress. I dealt with a lot of pain, man, learning this stuff, man. And man, I'm telling you, bro, that anxiety, it really hits you different, when you go through it. See, a lot of people laugh and a lot of people talk down when I told them, man, like, hey, like I was dealing with like bad anxiety because, hey, like I didn't know what I was doing in the market. Like I didn't have a clear sense of direction. Now I don't deal with that anymore. Like, man, I'll have to make a whole video, man. Like, it's just a lot, man, that I could tell you guys. It's a lot of game, man, that I could really give you all. But man, I'm telling you, bro, like it hits different once you get on the other side, man. So yeah, man. This is just a waiting game right now. I'm just currently just waiting for structure to break. Once again, if I don't get any confirmations, I don't have to take any positions today. My goal is well overmade for this week. And once again, I may just end up sitting out for today because once again we're currently in a range, and it's not really market's not really performing at its best. So, and that's another thing. You got to know when to walk away from the market. So just going back to those principles that my professor told me, know when to hold, know when to fold, know when to walk away, and know when to run. Once you meet your goal, run away from the market. You don't have to stay in all day. Once I meet my goal, like once it hits my areas, like I'm done. Like yesterday was a $1,000 plus day. All right, I was done. Was done with the market. So so that's all that matters. But just gotta lock in, like I say, just follow your plan. If you don't know something, find somebody that can teach you. Now, you just got to keep in mind there's a lot of different teaching styles. And one of the things you want to make sure is you want to find something that fits the way that you live your life. And once again, if there's an instrument that you like, ask that instructor, hey, do you specialize in trading this instrument? All right, because if they don't specialize in trading that instrument, how can they give you the coordinates? They're not going to be able to give you the full coordinates to the instrument because they don't trade it. They don't know nothing about it. Another thing, fundamentals. Technicals are good, but you gotta understand fundamentals. Okay. Now the government has put a halt. Federal government shutdown has put a halt on some fundamental news, but not all. All right, there's still some news that are still being published. But if you can find an instructor that can give you the coordinates of understanding how to apply the news with the instrument, man, that will take you a long ways. All right. And just the main thing is just finding somebody that has like 7 to 10 years of experience trading, understanding news and technicals. Once again, that's pretty much uh, the key to the success. I mean, like you can learn technicals, can learn technical analysis, but like I say, it'll only take you so far. Like I'm telling you, like the majority of the trades that you get in, like if you're just applying technical analysis, is it's good, it's okay. But if you understand news, I mean, that's gonna put you ahead of all of the traders out there. So once again, you gotta understand news. You gotta understand it. People may say this and that, but you gotta understand news. So you gotta keep that in mind. Another thing now, I've said this before, and I'll have to make a video on this. Whoever you go under, whoever you learn under, just keep this in mind. A lot of instructors, all right, put you on game. A lot of instructors are not going to give you everything. They're not going to give you everything. If they do give you everything, they're not going to give it to you all at once. All right. And there's a reason for this. The reason they're not going to give it to you all at once is because, like I say, you haven't shown loyalty. They're not going to give you the full coordinates if you haven't shown loyalty to them. All right. What is loyalty to them? Look it up. All right. Ask somebody. How do you show loyalty to a person? All right. You have to stay with them. You have to stay with them. All right. And what happens is a lot of people leave early because they realize that, hey, there's only a limit to the information that's going to be given out. And in that situation, it's like, okay, if I'm not getting the full piece to the pie, why should I stay? You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep that in mind. You got a lot of instructors that they're not going to give everything to you. If they do give everything to you, it's going to be, a period of time when they give it to you. So you got to keep that in mind. And you know, you can learn so much on your own, but the best results that you can receive is learning from someone who has the experience and that's willing to give you their coordinates. Now, if they're charging, um, if they're charging a lot, but they're giving you the full coordinates to the system, then at the end of the day, it's a good deal. But the thing that I'll tell you is that just keep this in mind. Burger King don't kick it with McDonald's. Burger King will never give the recipe to McDonald's. Not saying you're going to deal with some instructors that have that mentality, but once again, just so you don't set yourself up for failure, you want to keep that in mind. And that's just pretty much how things, can be. And once again, at the end of the day, uh, you can determine the way that things can go. The first instructor may not be the best instructor for you. You may have to go through like 5 different instructors. I went through three to four different instructors. All right. I went through 3 to 4 different instructors before I found the right personnel. Um, and seeing it is believing it. Like seeing them make the money live, it makes a difference. It puts you in a position where, hey, like it's real and it can be done. All right, you just got to put in the time. All right, and that's another thing. You got to put in some time for studying. You can't just be in class and expect to just get the nuggets like in the class. You got to spend at least 2 hours outside of the class a day. You got to spend at least 2 hours a day just studying and stuff. And then you got to make sure that the person that you're learning from is teaching you how to journal. Because I see a lot of people that journal and it's not enough. Like it's not enough to uh, just take a screenshot of the setup. No, you need to do some documentation. You need to write. You need to highlight the higher time frame, the mid time frame, and the lower time frame. You need to highlight all of that. Even if you don't take a trade, you still need to be highlighting what you saw for the day. Now, the only thing is if you trade in all multiple instruments, for example, if you when you trade in Forex, you got over 10 different instruments in the Forex industry. So when it comes to, like I say, documenting, all of those instruments, it can be draining, and that's why I only stick with one instrument. I'm not even worried about going back to Forex because once again, it was too draining for me. It just wasn't for me and the way that I live my life, you know, I just couldn't do it. Now, some people have success with Forex instruments. Don't get me wrong, you can still make the money with Forex instruments, but once again, I've walked away from it, and I'll probably make a video on this channel and kind of talk more about it. But once again, you just have to just find out what works for you, what fits your lifestyle, and you just got to find a credible personnel that can actually give you the coordinates to that instrument, because each instrument is affected differently. No instrument moves the same. Like I say, they may have similarities. They may correspond with each other in a way, but you know, each instrument has its own way of moving. So you just got to make sure you find somebody that can point that out to you. Um, yeah, so it looks like I got a call on the other side. I'm gonna have to go ahead and end this stream. But once again, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just wrap this up for today. I don't think I'm gonna take a trade. So we'll be back next week. We'll try to get some entries. But once again, I'm gonna back away from the market for November and December. But I'll still take you guys with me on this journey. Kudos to you guys. Continue to bet big, win big, and if you risk it all, make sure that you stand tall. Peace.